Hello, everybody. Alright, I have waited 3 days. It is time.
Please speak to President Song. I'm just
Okay, that's nice for Yuji. It is time to go find out what's going on. I like how this is considered running. It's like, no, this is not running, this is a job. This is running.
Ah, you've all finally made it. Good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple sales locations are asking when we'll be printing more copies.
Ooh.
This level of success is an amazing accomplishment for a new work. Most new books don't sell 30% of what you've sold.
I'm sorry?
I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them. The payment will follow shortly, and I'll notify you to come and collect it when the time comes.
Okay.
Oh yeah! The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do we know whether it worked?
Oh, don't worry. The change is already underway. Shh. Listen to what the people around us are talking about. The conversation has already moved on, hasn't it?
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at midnight, and your wish will come true!
Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man. No one's talking about that anymore. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations.
The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of Mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort. That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before. Pretty much everyone I know is desperate to try it out. Just waiting for a moonless night.
Really? Well, I better go and prepare too.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow, you're right! Everyone's shifting focus!
And hers are probably a lot more harmless.
What's this moonless night that they're talking about? Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
Well, of course not. She probably wrote that in later on.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line. All right, it's time to move on to the next phase of the plan.
There's a phase 2?
Of course, Paimon, that was only phase 1.
Of course. Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah, if we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirit. Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was.
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed light novelist named Tomoyuki. But when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book.
Uh-oh.
Yes, this is another case of possession. Only this time, whoever possessed him actively sought him out. After his novel submission failed, he was walking aimlessly in Araumi. In frustration, he shouted out, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." After that, he lost consciousness.
But the spirit that wrote the book has already left him now, right? So, what are we supposed to do?
We still gotta hunt down the spirit.
Simple. It wrote a summoning incantation in the book, didn't it? So we can just use its own method to make it manifest itself.
And we're more powerful than the average human. So we could probably call him straight out.
And you, my little friend, are the perfect candidate for this role.
This sounds very dubious.
Oh, what are you talking about? The fun's just about to begin.
I'm sure it is, Miko. Da-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da. I have not done a lot of exploration because I've never been over here. Aww. Ugh. At least not that I can recall. Whee! Hello. Why are we at an... Really? Alright.
Miko, what is this place?
The ideal spot for a little meet and greet with a certain elusive author. This is the place where we are most likely to succeed in summoning the spirit.
Really? But it feels so eerie here.
I'm not surprised.
That seems rather fitting, considering that we are dealing with the spirits of the deceased here. What are you so afraid of, honestly? We're finally about to meet the true author of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. Aren't you excited?
Not really.
Paimon's heart is pounding.
I'm
but Paimon's
honestly
pretty sure it's not because of excitement.
underwhelmed.
Come on, in we go.
Hey! Ooh, Paimon.
Alright. Let's get in here. Oh no, only one character actually meets the level requirement. Whatever shall I do? Oh wait, I have a deity. And the lovely Kitsune, Miko.
What a weird painting. Miko, do you know what it's supposed to show?
Kinda reminds me of the Raiden Shogun's battle arena.
Probably a scene from ancient Inazuma.
It's a good piece of artwork and all, but it, looks like the artist signed their name. Rakusai? It's not very clear.
Let's go inside and take a look.
Let me try.
Show them. Come on out.
Solidify!
Show them.
To the very... There's more! Finally, This isn't over!
Think you can bully me?
Fall before me! Cheap tricks! Take this! I'm ready!
No, you're not. Told you. I'm curious about her outfitting. That poor bird! Kagura's Verity. Base attack and crit damage. Ooh. Interesting. Noblesse oblige. And they gave her 3 constellations. Huh. Okay, so does... There we go. Periodically strikes one nearby opponent with lightning. And there are other associated soccer nearby. Their level will increase, boosting damage dealt by these lightning strikes. Maximum 3 can exist at the same time. Interesting. So they have to be close to each other, but they can't be too close. Huh. None have seen the Lady Guji's tales and lived to tell the story. So remember, as far as you are concerned, Lady Ai does not have a tail. Interesting.
Wow, this place is huge! Hey, is that a mirror? There's a really weird-looking stool as well. Wonder what it's for.
Ah, I see. Huh. This setup is quite handy. Saves me a lot of work. All right, go and take a look around. There should be a mechanism somewhere that makes the whole room move.
Okay, I see the second one. Oh. There you go. So there's this one. That's down there. And then that one. Pretty sure I was supposed to climb all the way around to somewhere else to get to that. And I've gotten... Oh, I need to reset them. Huh.
Let me try.
Right here. Emerge. I'm always watching.
Stabilize. I'm ready.
Come on out. Right here. Right now. What a nuisance. What a dreadful ending. Right here. Right now.
Wait, I'm being raided?
Right here.
Interesting timing for that. Thanks for the raid, Kaiko.
Gather.
Welcome everyone who's joining off the raid.
I will have order. One strike will suffice. Crumble.
That's what I wanted.
Careless.
I swear by my sword.
Cut down. Like this. You win this battle.
There we go. That was unfortunate. I want to get back to playing Genshin eventually. Well, they're about to release Sumeru, so now is probably the best time to try and catch up. Because I think Sumeru is being released tomorrow? No, the day after tomorrow. Pretty sure it's the day after tomorrow that it gets released. Whee! Oh, hello everyone.
Solidify. Hey.
Look at you, Boozy.
If you cannot let it all. Alright. Thanks for the raid again.
Starball!
To the very
Okay. Oh, hey. Random foul. Interesting. So apparently there's a thing over here as well. Oh, okay. I just need to reset the last one. Out of my way. Move you back. Oh. Come on. Whee. Ah, hello there.
gather. Order guide you.
Right now. Right here. A sight to behold.
Stabilize.
Shake! Ha!
Nice try.
Starball!
don't need that. Alright. None. That one's blocked. Move this over. Ah, treasure hoarders. Hello there.
What you got? I will have order.
Why did you turn that way instead of going for the center point where they were all at? That made no sense.
Order guide you.
Such a pain.
You don't know what really is a pain. Alright. So what is over here? Ah. Nice. So you gotta move this. And there's nothing here. And you gotta move this. Perfect. Alright. That's everything up here. Can I get in there? Ooh, I can. Perfect.
Whoa. It's the painting we just saw. It's turning this way along with the whole wall. It's getting eerier and scarier. What is this place?
Look in the mirror.
Okay. Next, I will show you a secret kitsune spell. This painting is a swift summoning medium, which means I'll be able to skip many of the more tedious steps.
Yeah.
The murky mirror reflects the view of Inazuma in a bygone age. Spirits stirred by the sight of the past will be easily drawn to it.
Ah, I see.
You're up next, little one. Come on, sit yourself down here.
Okay. Are we?
Yes. The whole point of a summoning ritual is for a dead person's spirit to possess a living person's body. You saw what happened to that Oni samurai spirit. After leaving the host's body, he was only...
Are we positive that summoning a spirit to possess the traveler isn't gonna have any lasting negative consequences?
Paimon, is now really the time to question this?
Oh, you really care about the little one quite a lot, don't you? I'm a little jealous. I wish my friends were caring like that. Anyway, are you scared, little friend? Don't you worry now. It'll be over soon.
Yeah, what
Sit
do I
on a
need to do?
chair, stare at the painting, and relax your body and mind. Try and be natural. There's really no need to be nervous.
Okay, cool. Spirit comes in, gets blasted out of me.
It's like she's sitting inside the painting. Huh? Is Paimon seeing things? Did the painting just move?
Recite the incantation in your heart, little one. Also, you'll need to have some intense thoughts going through your head. A wish, for example. Now, what kind of wish do we think it would take to summon forth the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits? Anyone?
Probably something to do with writing?
Very good. The wish needs to be heartfelt, though, so let me help add a little realism to the equation. The book is selling exceptionally well, Traveler, but we're going to need an outline for Chapter 4 as soon as humanly possible. When is the earliest that you can turn it in by?
The painting is moving again! What the?
Ooh.
I never thought the day would come when I'd be summoned using my own ritual. Getting a taste of my own medicine. What have we here? Another budding writer? What's come over you all? Why is everyone wishing for help with their writing? Are novels so popular in this day and age?
I like the music.
We got you! So you're the one who wrote a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. What are you trying to do, Why'd you put that summoning incantation in the book, huh?
Huh? What's this? Oh, I see. No wonder this felt so familiar. I've walked right into your trap, haven't I? You ask me what my game is here? Well, of course. It was to use this incantation as a means for all the souls of the departed yokai to make their glorious return to the world and plunge all of Inazuma into a brutal, bloody war.
Uh-huh. You kind of missed the last war, sorry.
What? Paimon knew it! You had an evil plan all along!
Oh, did you now? Then how naive of you to let me possess this body so easily. I sense, yes, great power within her. Good. Good! With this power, no one shall be able to stand in my way.
I love the female traveler having such a deep voice.
Wake up! Quick! Wake up! We gotta stop him!
It is futile. You shall never wake her again. This body now belongs to me!
Hey, Miko? I'm sure the traveler can do this on her own, but you want to say something?
Hey, come on, wake up! Miko, think of something! Miko!
She can't even take him seriously.
You're laughing?
Oh, Rakusai, you haven't changed a bit. You caught on so quickly. Too
I love it.
Well,
I knew something was
I
off.
couldn't exactly miss the hint. This is what you were going for, yes? Never one to stand on the sidelines of a good spectacle, are you? Always got to dive in and fan the flames, ah, you mischievous little kitsune.
Yeah.
Look what you've done to this little flying one here. Oh, poor thing scared witless.
I know the traveler.
You were having plenty of fun
perfectly
playing the
fine.
bad guy a moment ago. Now you're trying to blame it all on me?
Miko, you guys know each other?
Well, of course they do, Paimon.
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
Allow me to formally introduce the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, Urakusai. No, wait. To be more accurate, it's Urakusai's memory.
Memory? But isn't he a spirit?
So, what does that have to do with it?
Spirits, memories, they're just different words to describe the same thing. Something that comes from the ley lines.
Do you remember that recent incident when the Rift Hounds were gnawing at the sacred Sakura's roots? You witnessed human memories leaking from the ley lines, didn't you? Well, since there are human memories, of course there are going to be yokai memories too. In
Makes
life,
sense.
yokai possess supernatural powers. And even when they are a shadow of their former selves from a bygone era, they still have the ability to control whether they are visible or not. Typically, yokai memories survive longer in the world than those of humans.
Fair enough.
Indeed, indeed. I was wandering around the sacred Sakura's roots when I suddenly heard someone yelling, Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel. It piqued my curiosity, so I popped inside his body and wrote a novel for him.
So that's how it happened. But why did you include a summoning incantation in the novel?
Oh, little one. Not to toot my own horn here, but when I was alive, I wasn't just another kitsune, no. I was a mighty and powerful Daiyoko. The memories of other yokai can't possess human bodies at will like I can. But
Fair
with
enough.
this incantation, they can go one last little joyride in the world for a couple of days. Anything they're still itching to do, they can go and get it done.
Oh, so it was kind of like a, it was more of a present for other yokai.
But
She's trying to say that all the commotion this causes is likely to be a great disturbance to the humans.
Disturbance? I guess you mean that we might leave them with some broken dreams after we leave, hmm? Oh, yes. And they might have a fever or whatever. But you know, I actually think that the most admirable thing about human beings is the way that they go out and shape their fate with their own two hands, given that they're not born blessed with the same powers that we enjoy.
True.
As for those who would rather draw on external power than seek to improve themselves, it's quite right that they learn their lesson eventually. So when you think about it, we're actually doing the humans a big favor. Miko, you agree, don't you?
Yes, that's what I thought too.
all right then. You finally convinced Paimon. You guys were right.
What are you scared of, little one? Don't be deceived by her day-to-day antics. Miko is actually one of the most powerful yokai out there.
Yeah.
Not only that, Irakusai, but my latest work has beaten that book you wrote, A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, to become the most popular in Inazuma.
Of course. You were never one to make extra work for yourself where you can help it. And yet you went to all these lengths to find my painting room, and even took the trouble to summon me. I knew
Just to
you
rub
must
it
have
in his
some
face.
ulterior motive. You were always the one to pick a quarrel with me when we all used to gather around and share stories. All right. You win, I lose. Happy now?
I finally get to hear you say it centuries later. Ooh, I must say it feels good.
I remember when you were just a little girl, always hanging off my shoulders. A few hundred years later, and you're all grown up.
Oh, Urakusai, how much time do you have left?
Not much. That goes for all of us, actually. We've all got to go back where we came from in the end. Everyone's
True.
quite content in many ways, but they still can't help but ask, are we ever going to have another Hyakyako?
Don't you worry about that, Urakusai. Arrangements are being made. When my
I'm
bell
sorry.
rings, it means the moonless night is upon us.
Great. Wonderful. Fantastic.
The incantation that she put in the book.
Miko, it's been nice catching up, but I'd better conserve my energy if I want to stick it out until then. So, I'll be on.
All right. Goodbye then, Urakusai.
One last thing, Miko. I just want to know, have you been well all these years?
I've been great, of course. Every day is a happy one. Especially these days. Not only do I have my light novels, but I've also met these two delightfully nosy outlanders. And even A is finally starting to come to her senses. Quite a miracle, given how pig-headed she can be.
Oh, well, great. That's fantastic.
Urakusai, you'd be right at home in this era. A great storyteller and artist like yourself would be the Yai Publishing House's ace in the hole. And I would personally be hounding you over your next installment.
So, what is this Hyakaku? Hyakaku? Hyaku? I am probably horrendously chopping that up.
He disappeared.
Apologies to people who actually know how to pronounce
you
it
awake?
and
How
don't
are you
like it.
doing?
Yo,
Are
that was
you
a
all
nice snap.
there? Here, like last time, repeat after me.
3, 2, 1. 1,
Oh,
2, 3.
you beat me to it. Looks like your brain is intact. So, your first possession, What was it like?
A nap? Remember everything pretty clearly. I just couldn't get in on the conversation myself.
Good. Saves me from having to explain everything again. Hearing Rakusai admit defeat has put me in the most wonderful mood. In return, it's only fair that we make sure to deliver on what they're all... Yes, though they only represent a tiny proportion of the memories in the ley lines, it will still be quite a sight to behold when the time comes. Since you've come this far, why don't you do one last thing?
You cannot be serious, Miko. You guys teamed up to scare Paimon just now. If you think Paimon's gonna do anything you ask for, think again!
Paimon, you're not the one who does anything. I am.
Aw, come on. I'm really only asking you to finish what you started.
Paimon's paycheck?
My paycheck! Really?
Well, there's no way out now.
Well, hello there, my little helpers. So nice of you to join me. You're right on time, too.
Hello?
As if we had a choice. We just want our paychecks.
No, Paimon, you just want our paychecks. I want my paycheck and to find out what's going on.
So, Miko, what exactly do we have to do to make this Hyakuyaku happen?
That.
Also, to be clear, we actually have no idea what it even means.
It might sound ominous, but to put it simply, the Hyakuyaku is just a gathering of the yokai. Back in the day at yokai gatherings, once everyone had had plenty to drink, one by one they'd start soaring into the sky with their yokai powers. There were so many of them that their silhouettes would block out the moon. But now, the yokai memories that leak from the ley lines are weak. They are no longer able to fly.
So is the incantation that you put into the books an incantation that gives the yokais people's bodies from their wishes, and those people get to act as the yokai, as the physical form of the yokai, as the yokai use their powers through the people to perform this thing?
So I will be performing a convocation ritual for them, gathering all the wandering memories together in one place. When the time comes, they will gather in the sky above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Once their energy is spent, they will be satisfied and return to where they belong. All the preparations for the ritual have actually been made well in advance. Remember the incantation and the mention of moonless night that I added to our novel?
Oh, yeah! Something about reciting the secret spells of Lady Kitsune on a moonless night.
That's the one. Actually, it's not a wish-granting incantation at all. It's a spell to help calm the ley line memories. When that time comes, let's all pitch in and help send them on their way.
Yeah.
I will start the ritual preparations shortly, and at that time, I need you to do two things. First, tell the Shrine Maidens to leave the mountain.
Okay.
During the Hyakuyaku, a whole swarm of yokai memories will be hanging around in the air above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Having the Shrine Maidens leave avoids the bothersome issue of someone potentially getting possessed.
Oh.
After that, I will commence the ritual, and the memories will begin to congregate. This will take some time. I need you at the foot of Mount Yoko during this part to keep an eye on nearby monster activity. The memories are normally dispersed and don't pose a threat, but when their energy is concentrated, it is likely to disturb the monsters. They may see this as an opportunity to try and make it up the mountain. I need you to fend them off so that that doesn't happen.
Alright, got it. Then what?
Well, if at that point you felt like coming to the shrine and getting a close-up view of the yokai, I wouldn't say no.
Okay, let's get going.
Descend the mountain? Are those Lady Kuji's orders?
Yes.
Miko said the ritual she's gonna perform soon might pose a physical danger to you all.
I see. I'll evacuate everyone right away. What about you?
We'll be taking care of a couple other things for her. And once we're done with that, we're gonna come back and do the ritual together.
It seems like Lady Kuji places great trust in you.
I am not mentioning yokai to her.
Lady Kuji's never allowed anyone else to be in her presence when she's conducted rituals like this in the past. Thank you for helping with the ritual, and good luck.
Don't worry, we're much stronger than we look.
Paimon. You hardly do anything. Again,
Miko's
I
about to
take
start
care
the
of all
ritual.
of it.
Come on, let's go deal with the monsters down the mountain. These monsters look really riled up.
You can't let them up the mountain. Let's get rid of them. For
Yep,
Miko.
yep. Let's get rid of them as fast as we can. Then we can get back in time to see the yokai. All right.
Not fan of
here
the.
they come.
I'm not a fan of the Mirror Maiden that's up there.
Wind, hear me.
This is order.
Can't handle your drink. Scratch that. Go as one.
Solidify. Gather. Order guide you.
There we go.
Perfect distance.
Rumble apart.
Solidify. I will have order.
Drop. Go as one. Think you can pull it?
Say no more.
Stabilize. To
the ferry.
There's so many of them! Come on, you can do it!
Well, of course I can.
Gather!
How's
Yes!
Show me what you've got!
Just this!
Stabilize! Watch your step!
Drop!
Strike first!
My blade!
Show me what you've got! This is order! Gather! Watch your step! I dare you!
Go as one!
Show me what you've got!
Yeah!
I didn't even notice you were still alive.
To the ferry.
Don't hold back! Order guide you!
Drop!
Allow me. Stabilize! Strike first!
Yeah, unfortunately your strikes don't really do much because of my shield.
Go as one! Alright, that's the last of the monsters.
And now to... Nope. Delete that. And now to teleport up here. Let's see this ritual. Do 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 do. All right.
So many! They're everywhere! Huh?
Yes, the memories of the yokai. They haven't been able to relax and soar through the air like this for a long time. Come with me.
Okay.
You all right, little one? You look a little nervous.
It's just... Hyman's never seen anything like this before!
I'm not surprised.
They've really blacked out the moon!
Ooh.
It does look a little intimidating, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you're
But
not
I
used
know
to
them. They may be loud and brash at times, but they are good and brave souls. Even after losing their lives in a brutal war, they have never given in to grief or despair. Alas, their time is short.
it.
Do they really have to go?
It's a feast, and all feasts come to an end. Since you're sorry to see them leave, why don't you do the recital along with me? O Hakushin, cause of this enchantment, in reverence I perform this rite.
In reverence, I perform this rite.
To be a guiding light.
Huh?
recite the secret spells of Lady Kitsune tonight, and our wishes will come true.
Oh, Hakushin, cause of this enchantment.
I perform this rite to be a guiding light.
Your unrivaled power
Will be honored eternally.
Urakusai, you asked if I was doing well. Really, every day is a happy day for me. But watching you all leave now, I can't help but feel a little lonely. Just a little, of course.
Yeah, of course. Just only a little.
Just as I thought. The ritual went very smoothly. Thank you both. Oh, I'm great.
But the look on your face just now...
I'm fine, seriously. Really, No. Honestly, you two.
Nico...
Fine. Well, if you're dead set on doing something for me, you can treat me to a meal.
Sure, no problem. A meal it is.
Okay. Well, see you soon
A
then.
meal's a deal. Until the appointed time the next day. What was the appointed time? There was no agreed upon time. So now I have no idea.
Today is the day we agreed to treat Nico to a meal.
Oh. Literally just wait until the next day. Okay. Yeah, Miko's definitely one of the better characters from the region, as far as like how characters' personalities are.
Oh, wait is unbearable. How is the next chapter of the miraculous adventures of the Traveler not released yet?
It was quite a surprise when the moonless night finally came.
Yeah, that huge black cloud over Mount Yogo that night. It just seemed to form out of nowhere.
But then nothing happened after I made a wish using the method in that book.
Yeah. I guess light novels are just fiction after all, huh?
That night was definitely the nail in the coffin for the incantations from novels fad. Still, something tells me the miraculous adventures of the Traveler will remain an interesting series for a long time to come.
Huh? Paimon can't see Miko anywhere. Guess she's not out here. Maybe she went inside already.
New clothes.
I'm sorry, what? A food critic? Huh. Interesting. Oh, I got 4 egg cores. Alright. I see.
Ah, my little friends. There you are.
Nico, what is this? You started eating without us?
Paimon?
I did, yes. You're paying after all. The thought of being able to eat the most expensive dishes and drink the finest sake, all for absolutely free? Oh, I just couldn't wait any longer.
And it's going to cost us exactly how much our paycheck was going to be.
Ah, boss, see these two faces here?
Alrighty.
What's gotten into you? Come on, you have to try this fish. It's found exclusively in the waters around Seirai Island. They shipped it to Inazuma overnight, and it was still alive right up until I ordered it.
I'm in the middle of something.
Or maybe you'd rather try this? I know, I know. I normally can't bring myself to drink sake this expensive either. If you don't drink alcohol, that's fine too. There are all kinds of fruit juices covering...
Last time we were here working on the novel, all you ordered for us was the plainest kushikatsu!
Strange. I remember no such thing. Oh, so what? You did offer to treat me to a meal, didn't you? Anyway, I am something of a VIP, you know. Wouldn't you find it embarrassing to treat me anything short of lavishly?
Miko, this meal is going to be super expensive!
Oh, don't you worry about that. You can most definitely afford it. They're still printing your light novel by the batch, you know. You have quite the generous payment due.
Aw, darn it! She tricked us into this! Miko was after our Mora from the very beginning!
Shouldn't have let our guard down.
Oh, by the way,
I knew that was going to
since
come.
nobody's wishes came true on the moonless night, novels with incantations are no longer in vogue. So you'll have to come up with something new for the next chapter of The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler.
If we get a continuation of this, I feel like it's going to be well beyond Sumeru's release. It's probably going to be release 5.5, 6 is my guess.
The deadline is looming.
Looming. Yeah. Thank you, Miko. Alright. Time for me to leave and get back out to the Inazuman streets.
Those two look familiar.
I want to say the guy in the armor might have been part of the quest line for before getting everyone's visions back.
Ah, it's Ippei and Shinojo!
So it is.
Guess they must be good friends, huh? Anyway, let's go say hi.
We can hope they're good friends and not arguing with one another.
Hi, Ippei. Hi, Shinojo. What are you guys doing here?
Oh, it's you. Thanks so much for your help last time. I was just ordering some clothes when I ran into him.
You know these two as well?
Yes, they helped me and Master Kamaji out a great deal last time. I've never had the chance to say thank you properly. What about you? How do you know them?
Also a chance encounter. Our lady had them join us as additional guards for a goods escort in order to sneak out of Rito undetected.
Oh wait, no, this was just for me to be able to leave Rito.
So we all know each other, huh?
Not exactly. We've only just met. We both came here to order some clothes and got to chatting. Somehow we ended up on the topic of Master Kamaji and Lady Hiragi's relationship. Wait, it's okay to talk about that, right?
It's probably fine. They've known about it for a long time already.
Oh, yeah! Paimon remembers those two had a thing. In fact, that was why Chisato wanted us to deliver a letter. That's old news, though. So, why has it come up next?
We have reason to suspect that they'll be getting married soon.
Wow!
Nice.
That's great! They can finally make it official!
Something tells me their families aren't going to want that.
Of course, this is just personal speculation. They haven't announced anything, and we wouldn't dare to ask.
I was instructed to place an order for some formal wear for a big banquet. Turns out that Ippei received the exact same instructions as I did.
They're both preparing for a banquet at the same time. They're both purchasing the kind of fine wine and confectionery normally reserved for big festivals. It's hard not to put two and two together.
they're trying to keep it on the down low for now until it's time.
Lady Hiragi has been in high spirits recently, and I heard she's on a diet as well.
This is wonderful news! But,
What's wrong? Oh, don't mind me. She's about to be happily married to the love of her life. I genuinely couldn't be happier for her.
Even if you are disappointed, it's not you.
Right? I think so too. It's fantastic.
Yes, but we shouldn't let ourselves get overexcited. What if it's all Now, if they sent me out to deliver wedding invitations, that would be a different story.
Shinoju doesn't look like he's taking this very well at all.
You seem down.
Sorry, I just haven't slept well recently.
You sure that's the reason?
I'm ashamed to be so out of sorts at work. I'm not living up to my responsibilities, either to the Kanjo Commission or to my lady.
Are you worried about their wedding?
Not exactly, it's just everything feels kind of up in the air until they make it official.
I get what you mean, I really do. We need this wedding to be set in stone before the celebrations can really begin.
You really don't understand, sir.
What should we do?
I don't know. That seems a bit rude.
Right! If Ayaka knows about it, that means it's a sure thing.
I
Right!
think it's a good idea
This is
to bother the Yashiro
Ayato.
Commission about this.
This is Ayato's story.
It's fine. She and Ayaka are practically best buds. There's nothing to worry about.
I see.
I've yet to come across
Then
misgendering.
Thank you very much. Having a definite answer will
Now
stop
that I
my
think
thoughts
about
from
it.
running wild.
Let's go to the Kamisato.
I wonder if that was just an issue in the early part of the game. Alright. That's not what I wanted. Hello, kids. Hello, Toro. Ah yes, this could prove to be a bit of an issue. And that's what waypoints are for.
This place impresses me every time I come here. It's so magnificent, but still so elegant.
We'll just wait here. We don't want to cause any extra trouble for you.
Thank you for waiting
Ayaka
outside.
wouldn't mind.
Honestly, even if we did come with you, we wouldn't know what to say or do once we were inside. So we'll just leave you to it.
Alright.
Alright then, we won't be long.
Something tells me we will be along. Do. Hey guys, how's it going? Doom, do-doom, 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 do-doom. Hey, Toma!
Without looking at the board, you've ruined my strategy in one move. Amazing. Now what should I do next?
Ayaka, Toma, it's us!
I'm trying to figure out which version of chess it is.
Hey guys, it's been a while.
Is it Shogi?
If you're looking for my lady, I'm
Go?
afraid she's not here right now.
Oh?
I don't.
That voice.
I don't actually recall
Toma. Would that happen to be the Traveler?
Yes.
what any of them
Greetings,
actually
Traveler.
are.
Ayaka speaks of you constantly.
Like the
Finally,
difference
today
between
is the
them
day.
and
I am
key
head of the
points
Kamisato clan and Yashiro Commissioner. Kamisato Ayato.
Ah, hello, Ayato.
Greetings, both. I have long been indebted to you on my sister's behalf. Finally, I have the chance to express my profoundest gratitude to you in person.
Indebted to us?
Ayaka is out today. If you are here regarding anything related to the Kamisato clan, you are quite welcome to discuss it with me instead.
Oh, hi. Your flattering words flatter us.
Paimon.
Please excuse the suddenness of our visit, for it is most improper.
Paimon, you really need to learn how to read the room. He was greeting us as a friend. He would not have actually gotten up and approached us otherwise.
Well, he seems like a pretty powerful person. He's already working his way up Paimon's list of people to never mess with.
I better be on the top of that list, alright, Paimon? Otherwise, we're going to have a problem.
The atmosphere in the room changes, and it feels like you gotta be super polite.
But anyways... How's it going, Ayato?
You shower me with praise undeserved, my little guest. There is no need to be quite so formal. This is a private residence, so please, relax.
Oh, good. Because that whole spiel was really tiring just now. Alright, now that that's over, Paimon's just gonna ask the question.
Paimon goes from polite to presumptuous in a split second.
We heard a rumor that Kujo Kamaji and Hiragi Chisato are gonna get married soon. Do you know anything about that?
Oh? I wouldn't have thought you'd heard about that yet.
As it happens, we've crossed paths with them before.
I see. Well, it's true. It wasn't long ago that I received the news myself. The head clans of 2 commissions are to become joined through marriage. This is big news for the whole of Inazuma. Since the Yashiro Commission presides over cultural and ceremonial affairs, it closely involves us, too.
That's why we came here, to double-check and make sure it wasn't just a rumor.
Yes. And since the commissions are kind of the face of the Almighty Shogun to the masses, this wedding is one that we have to treat as a serious affair.
Fair enough.
Right! Makes sense. Ah, 2 true lovers becoming husband and wife. What a happy occasion.
It is. High-profile matrimonial links between 2 commissions are extremely rare. But these 2 truly love each other. Tradition should give way to freedom in this case.
All right then. I'll be sure to pay them a visit to send the best wishes of the Kamisato clan.
Or Ayato can do it himself, because I think he wants to get out of the house.
No need. I'll visit them personally
Called
this
it.
time.
Huh? But you have other things to be doing.
This is a marriage between the Kujo clan and the Hiragi clan. The Kamisato clan must demonstrate an appropriate level of respect.
Oh, hey, it's Sarah's clan. Sarah, sorry. Pronunciations are important.
The work of the Yashiro Commission is indeed multifarious.
Piss off anyone.
Normally, weddings and other ceremonies would come under the supervision of my sister.
Ah, and she's currently away, so it's therefore fallen to you.
But she is presently occupied with other matters, and I happen to have a little time to spare. This will be a good chance for me to pay a visit to the bride and groom. Oh, and would you 2 care to join me?
Oh, yes. You mean us? No, I want to take that lamp and the other lamp in the background.
I presume you 2 have a special connection with the individuals in question, or you would not be quite so interested in this matter. This being the case, why not come and offer your best wishes too? Or is my
Oh wait, no.
presumption
He wants to bring the drawstring in one of those lamps with him. That's totally...
Oh, it's not as interesting as you make it sound. No special connections here. Super ordinary ones, actually.
Paimon, you're laying on a little too much humbleness. Yes, let's just travel.
We just agreed to help deliver a letter this one time, that's all. Although wait, does that mean we helped make this wedding happen?
Romantic relationships are determined by fate. Don't overestimate your contribution here.
Alright then.
But still, let's go
I
see.
cannot thank you enough. Your mere presence shall surely mean we are spared the futile pursuit known as small talk.
Okay, so he doesn't like small talk.
Wait, you're the Yashiro commissioner, but you can't do small talk?
Small talk is a chore. Of course, there are some people in the world who quite enjoy doing chores, but I am not one of them.
I hate how accurate he is on this.
Toma, I'm heading out with my 2 guests now. I'll leave the residence in your capable hands.
Not a problem. Take care, my lord.
Alright, later, Toma. I hate how accurate his statement is on small talk. When it comes to small talk myself, unless it's something I have invested interest in, I have a tendency to just sit there and listen. Because I prefer to listen to other people talk about things they're passionate about, and just sit there and make commentary along with it, maybe to further enhance the conversation, or just keep them going, so this way I don't sit there in complete and utter silence, because I always need some sort of background noise to help me. Probably the only reason why I'm allowed to do certain things that most people aren't allowed to do for my workplace. Like music. But nobody heard that from me.
Yashiro Commission.
Who are these 2?
They're friends of ours. Paimon will do the introduction.
So it's true. Well, there we have it. That's it then. So be it.
Great, so our hunch was spot on.
Ippei, you... You don't know how to read people.
It is a little inappropriate for me to have shared news of this magnitude with you. So I would be much obliged if you could keep it in strict confidence until an official public announcement is made.
Don't worry, sir. We give you our word. We won't tell anyone about it.
That puts my mind at ease. Now, on the topic. We'd like to pay a visit to the Kujo clan. Would you mind leading the way for us?
Of course not. I'd be honored.
I guess this is where I... Goodbye then.
Goodbye, Shinoju. You knew it was not meant to be.
Aw, cheer up, Shinojo.
I'll try. Thank you.
Warp. Hello. Zhongli, take over. Dum da dum da da dum da dum da da dum da dum 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 da da da. Me being stupid. That's all. I have arrived. I have come. Phrasing. What up, fool?
All right, then. Please excuse me. I'll leave you to it from here.
Okay. Thanks, Ippei.
Hey, Kamaji.
I apologize that your impromptu visit comes at a busy time for us, Commissioner. Otherwise, you can be sure that we would have prepared a more extravagant reception.
I don't mean to impose, Sir Kujo. In fact, I'm not here on official business at all. I heard the good news about yourself and Lady Hiragi. What a glorious marital alliance this shall be. Given the close ties between our clans, it seemed only right that I should come and offer the Kamisato clan's congratulations in person.
I'm truly honored. I hope the news didn't come as too much of a surprise.
Hey there! We came to congratulate you as well!
How have you been?
Since the incident with the Takatsukasa clan, things in the Tenryou Commission have slowly started to stabilize. I'm still acclimating to the position of acting head of the clan. I just hope I'm up to the task, so I can live up to everyone's expectations.
You'll be fine, Kamaji. You're overthinking
You're
yourself.
far too modest. The public thinks very highly of you. They say you're hardworking, upright, and responsible.
I'm flattered, but I wouldn't have achieved anything without the support of my people. Thanks to them, everything is gradually stabilizing.
Well, you're certainly making big progress in that department.
Sounds like it was worth sending that letter.
Come on now. You're embarrassing me.
The smooth operator.
Pardon me,
It's perfectly all right. Please, continue. I'm quite content to listen. It's a joyous occasion. Light-hearted is exactly how things should be. Really, who stays stony-faced when talking about a wedding?
You mean besides you? Mr. I don't like small talk.
You're right. But I am curious to know, what's your honest opinion on the whole thing? Do you think it's too sudden?
Of course not. Where there is true love, nothing should be allowed to stand in its way. No doubt people will offer you a colorful variety of opinions. But of course, you will have factored this into your decision, and I'm sure you are prepared for whatever challenges may lie ahead.
Indeed I am.
So, please be confident. When your mind is made up, you ought not be worried about things for which you are already well prepared. Nevertheless, there is just one small aspect of this that puzzles me a little.
Oh boy.
Please, go ahead.
You've been working hard to bring the Tenryou Commission in line. This is positive, and no doubt the beginning of important change. But on the other side of this equation, Lady Hiragi's father, Hiragi Shinsuke, is still in prison. If you choose now, of all moments, to announce a marriage between the Hiragi and Kujo clans, the kinds of rumors that may begin to spread both among the general public and in the Kanjo Commission are not likely to be in either of your best interests.
Yeah. Couldn't have put it better myself, Sir Kamisato. This has been my biggest concern for quite a while now. Hiragi Shinsuke is firmly against me having any contact at all with Chisato. In the past, we've always had to communicate in secret by sending letters. So although now may not look like the best timing for this marriage, it may well be the only opportunity we have.
Oh, that guy? Yeah, he acts like this sweet old man, but he was determined to make as much trouble for us as possible. Oh, he is the worst.
Paimon, you could have held back a little bit of your issues with him.
I can see where you're coming from, but you're only postponing the problem, not solving it. You will still have to face it sooner or later.
Exactly. There is no getting around the issue. You have to work through it.
Yes, I'm well aware of that. But since Chisato had the courage to ask me to marry her in spite of everything, how can I disappoint her?
So she proposed to you. Somehow I'm not surprised.
Well, sort of. She raised the idea in a letter, and after some initial hesitation, I went to meet her and have a serious conversation about our future. It's funny, actually, because when I formally proposed to her in person, she denied having ever written that letter. So coy.
Wait a second. Someone else is trying to put them into that marriage. Could it be the dad working from behind the scenes? He puts out this really bad, front, but in actuality he wants them to get married? Nah, he was too much of an asshole at the beginning.
Huh? Really?
Maybe she prefers things to be more... No. If she said that she didn't write that letter, she didn't write that letter.
She didn't say. She just acted confused by the whole thing. She really committed to it. I'll never forget the look on her face.
Oh.
Anyway, as her boyfriend, I knew she was just pretending, so I played along and said,
You
I was only joking about the letter.
did not know
And I
that
proposed.
she was actually not playing, but absolutely serious.
After making some disgruntled noises about me making a stupid joke, she blushed and said yes. We spent that afternoon working through all the details of the wedding.
Something is off, and Ayato,
Okay.
let's hurry this up because...
So you discussed it and decided on a date?
Because I kind of want to know who the fuck just did this.
I guess it was a chance to finally
Someone trying
express
to
our
ruin
commitment to
both
one another,
clans?
clearly and
Maybe.
completely. And you know what? I think it was about time.
Seriously with that light?
No matter what happens next, I will always be there for her as the one person she can always rely on.
I dislike this lighting.
Oh, give me a break. Sorry, but Paimon's been wanting to say this the whole time. Is it just this dude, or does everyone in love act like this? He just won't stop talking.
I think he can't help it.
Apologies, my friends. And also to Sir Kamisato. I must sound like a fool.
Far from it. On the contrary, seeing you so positively smitten puts my mind at rest.
Yeah. Even if it wasn't her who wrote the letter, the fact that they're still gonna go through with it and are okay with it is pretty good. However, I want to find out what her side of the story is.
No surer evidence could there be of your true feelings and your commitment. I wish you a joyous wedding when the day comes.
Yeah, even if it's kind of irritating to see you all smug like this, it's still a happy occasion. Good luck on the day, and have a happy wedding!
Jeez, Paimon. Again, hold back some of the unnecessary commentary. Kinda irritating to see you all smug. Shut up! He's happy. Be happy for him.
Thank you all. It means a lot.
We have some other business to attend to now. Until next time.
Very well. I'll see you out.
So did anything...
Busy. That must be true for anyone about to get married, right? It's a happy kind of busy, though.
So did anything seem off to you, Ayato?
You're right. Kujo Kamaji is on Cloud 9. What do you think, Traveler?
I'm bothered by how the whole thing began.
He chalked it up to her being coy, but that doesn't sound like the Hiragi Chisato I know.
Exactly.
It bothers me also. But, unfortunately, attempting to seek the truth of the matter would likely be fruitless.
Yeah, how come? Whenever we come across stuff like this on our adventures, we always find a way to get to the bottom of it.
This is true.
I see. So that's how adventurers think.
Yep. You don't get out of the house to do non-work things very often, do you? You're the head of the clan, of course. Who am I kidding? Of course you don't know.
In my opinion, we face two obstacles in this case. Firstly, we have very little information to go on, and I must be cautious about taking a stance. This makes it difficult to investigate. Secondly, and more importantly, the person involved doesn't seem to care. If we intervene without his blessing, good intentions may lead to catastrophic results.
You do have a point. Kamaji doesn't seem worried at all.
So we go to the other side and find out their story.
Everything in the world is intertwined. What looks like a simple outcome is often the result of multiple conflating reasons. Seeking the full truth would be a long and laborious process. It would be inefficient.
You been here before?
Sort of. I have to take this approach, or the work of the Yashiro Commissioner would never be done.
Fair enough.
My opinion is something like this. When something strange happens, instead of trying to find out what could have caused it, it is better to look at the situation itself.
This is true.
If the
Which is why
outcome
we
is
should go
positive
talk to
and no one
Chisato
was
now
deceived or harmed in the
and
process,
see.
then it is acceptable. We don't know yet. After all, we don't know what Hiragi Chisato's thoughts
Thank
are,
you.
do we? I have to say, I'm impressed by your ability to zero in on the issue from such a short meeting. Most insightful of you. You are thorough and thoughtful, just as my sister describes.
Huh? But Chisato and Kamaji have already talked everything through, haven't they?
They've talked the details of the actual marriage out, but they didn't talk about the letter further. And she was very clearly bothered by the fact that he said that she sent him a letter. When she was quite committed to saying she did not write that letter. So, obviously, something is going on.
Only if we are to take Kujo Kamaji at his word. But there are two sides to every
Precisely.
story. I wish to know Hiragi Chisato's angle on this.
Makes sense, but Paimon still doesn't quite get it.
Then it doesn't make sense to you, Paimon.
Don't worry about it. I was planning to visit the Hiragi clan to deliver my best wishes anyway. Let's take the opportunity to hear her thoughts. If she's as committed as Kujo Kamaji, perhaps they can navigate the challenges ahead successfully. But if not...
Then there's something else at play.
Well, life isn't always a smooth journey.
Nope. If it was, there wouldn't be people struggling out there. Hello, don't mind me. Hello, ladies.
There is still much to prepare for the wedding. Should we also invite some prominent business leaders who frequently visit Rito?
At the very least, we should send them invitations.
I agree. Hello there, Yashiro Commissioner.
Hello, Matsuro.
To what do we owe the honor on this fine day?
Hey,
as it happens, I'm here regarding the same wedding I believe I heard you discussing just now. I come bearing the felicitations of the Kamisato clan. Would Lady Hiragi happen to be available at this moment?
Our lady is entertaining guests right now, and we're not entirely sure how long she will be.
But please, do come in. We will arrange some tea and snacks for you and your attendants.
Hey! Paimon is not in attendance!
You misunderstand. These two are dear friends.
You're too kind.
We don't wish to impose. We'll just wander around in the general area. Apologies for the interruption while you're busy with preparations. Please, let us know once Lady Hiragi is available.
Nonsense, Commissioner. No imposition at all. This wedding is a joyful occasion, and all the other clans who serve the Hiragi clan are most delighted.
I recognize Matsuro's voice actor, and I don't know why. I'm trying to remember which anime I recall hearing the voice from. No, I don't think it's Rurouni Kenshin.
We're merely doing the best we can to make this wedding as grand an affair as possible.
When the time comes, we'll invite everyone in the clan and even the general public to attend.
I need to look at who his voice actor is. This is gonna drive me nuts. Christopher Guerrero. Okay. Oh my god! First thing that popped... Oh, he's from the live action Genshin Impact. No, he is in the... No, wait, no, that's also... Hold on, now I need to find... Okay, let's see. Freedom Planet, Classroom of the Elite, Dragon Ball Super, Isekai Quartet, Another World. He's Ainz. Of course! I haven't actually watched that anime, but I've heard some of the voice acting. World Heroes Mission. There we go! Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. I was watching that anime in VR chat. That's why I recognize the voice. He's a friggin' narrator. Oh my goodness. He's a really good VA. Apparently he's also been in Death Battle. The Knockout Announcer? Let's see. He's also in Fire Force as Yata. He's also in the... So this is basically from Persona 5 as EY. Black Clover. I haven't really watched that much. Certain Scientific Railgun. I've watched some of that. Machina Bridged. Oh! Final Fantasy VII Machina Bridged. Yes! I'm familiar with that as well. And Cautious Hero. He's Lagos. Ah. Anyways, going back to the game. Sorry for the distraction, folks.
That sounds splendid. We'll leave you to it.
Take care, Commissioner.
Seems like you guys talked a lot without actually saying anything.
Hence why I dislike small talk. Our timing was not ideal, but never mind. I spotted a stall on our way over where we can pass the time. The owner always manages to come up with novel ideas. I'm one of
his regular customers. Hey, Tomoki.
Ah, it's you.
Long time no see.
Good to see you. Seems like you're always showing up with a VIP in tow.
Oh?
Just about.
So you know the owner as well?
Yep. We tried his dongle milk a while back with the almighty Shogun in Inazuma City.
Yep.
Ah, I see. So you were involved in that. I'd caught wind of this dango milk, but I didn't know that it had anything to do with you two.
It was unexpected, that's for sure.
I always order one of his creative drinks whenever I pass the stall. The flavor is always new and interesting. When I noticed he'd set up shop in Rito, I simply had to come by.
Thanks to you all, my business is finally beginning to take off. More and more people are willing to give my creative cuisine a shot.
Nice.
It gave me the confidence to decide that I'm going to stick to creative cuisine from now on.
Very nice.
On the one hand, I wanted more people to be able to try out my culinary creations. On the other hand, I wanted my customers to experience the joy of being creative too. So I gave it a lot of thought and finally came up with an all-new business concept.
Sounds interesting.
I've decided to give complete creative control to the customer. I offer all sorts of ingredients, and they pick and choose whatever they want to mix with their milk or tea.
Ooh, nice. That could be how boba tea and milk tea and a bunch of other stuff had come to fruition in Japan anyways, so
as well
makes
as
sense.
dango, I now offer rice cake, purple potato balls, black sugar, and sunsettia.
I'm actually curious about the purple potato balls. I think this... Is this dango? I can't remember. I know this is the rice cakes. I have no idea what this is. Sunsettia is...
Do they really all go well with milk? Hard to imagine, but who knows? It could be delicious.
What
Never
if
know
I were
until
to
you
choose
try.
some ingredients you don't have here? Would that be okay?
Well, I guess so. Any novel ideas you have, Commissioner, please feel free to tell me. I'll go buy the ingredients right away. The whole idea was to let my customers express their creativity freely. So of course, I shouldn't place restrictions on the ingredients if I can help it.
Excellent. There are a few things I'd like to try. Lavender melon, seagrass, and sea ganoderma.
I have all three of those.
What? You want to mix those with milk?
He could be going for a tea.
I do indeed. Why? What's
Okay.
wrong?
He's going for a milk.
You really think that's gonna turn out tasting good?
It could.
It's all about the experience. The taste is secondary. It's great to try new things.
It also lets it also gives an idea of what does and does not go well with things.
Traveler.
Definitely interested in the lavender melon.
Sounds like a risky choice. Are you sure?
3 milks with lavender melon, please.
No problem. Give me a second. I'll have them ready in just a moment. Here, your milk is ready. Give it a try.
Yep, just as Paimon suspected. Raw lavender melon does not taste good.
I think it tastes all right. It makes me feel in touch with Mother Nature.
Your review seemed pretty positive, but Paimon still thinks there are better combinations.
Yeah, Paimon, yes, that's not really the point, though. The point is to try things to see if they might turn out okay. Doesn't matter how good they are. Some people like things that other people don't. I don't like seafood. I know plenty of people who love seafood. They think I'm crazy for not liking seafood. Same thing with several other things. Bacon, for instance.
Taste is your key concern, yes?
Just because something isn't to your taste doesn't mean it's not to someone else's taste.
Obviously, tasty food and drinks are some of life's most important pursuits.
Well said. If I could say the same was true for me, I believe I'd be a very content man. Yes. No one has unlimited energy, and I try to conserve mine for the things that really count. To create some mental breathing room, I try not to overthink the less critical matters.
That's fair.
Having my sister attend public events in my stead, and having Toma as housekeeper has also been a great help, and allowed me to focus.
Yeah, but too much work and not enough play, it's not really going to help you there.
Here, though, right? Is there anything else to think about than what we're doing right now?
1 or 2 things. Let's continue this discussion somewhere else.
Fair enough, because it's probably
I noticed
private
something
farm.
before we left the Hiragi clan's residence. No, it was just a small detail. I was curious to know their thoughts on the wedding, so I asked them about it. Naturally, they responded that all other clans are happy for the Hiragi clan. But that's not the truth.
What do you mean?
Hiragi Shinsuke is still in prison, meaning the Kanjo Commission is the least stable in the Tri-Commission. Hiragi
True.
Chisato is the sole remaining pillar of her clan, but now she plans to marry into the Kujo clan. If I belonged to one of the assisting clans to the Hiragis, I would not be feeling optimistic about the future.
Someone who wants to remove the Hiragi clan from the seat of power it's in could be trying to give them a bit more of a push. And with the instability going on, they could use it as a political pull. I hate politics.
But they
God
didn't
damn
mention
it.
a word about that. They simply said they were delighted for them. These are not unintelligent people. I highly doubt it is because they simply do not realize. I imagine they didn't want to discuss family issues in front of outsiders. But still, the more I think back over that conversation, the more it doesn't sit right. Keep a close eye on them, Hisashi.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
hello, Hisashi. So you also have these kinds of people. You must know Yelan.
Whoa! Where did you come from?
This is one of my most trusted members of the Shumatsuban. He's been quietly watching out for us this whole time.
Merely doing my duty, sir.
Appreciate it, Sasashi.
Keep a close watch on the clan representatives we met today.
Well received. I'm on the case.
Oh, and I almost forgot. That milk I just had? Please order one more and deliver it to Toma.
As you wish, sir.
Oh no, poor Toma.
So even the Traveler didn't like it. I want to try one that's a little more properly made than the idea of just chunks of melon dropped in milk.
Sir Kamisato, Lady Hiragi's previous engagement is now concluded.
Thank you kindly. Let's go and see Hiragi Chisato.
If lavender melon is an actual fruit, I would absolutely love to try it. I really would. I'm not a fan of watermelon, but I do like cantaloupe and honeydew. Had to think for a moment. I've worked produce. That's the only reason why I know that there's a difference between some of the things. And yeah, I'm not very well knowledgeable when it comes to the difference in certain things and memorizing fruits. Especially when I don't eat fruit very often.
Nice to see you again, Chisato.
I heard that Sir Kamisato had brought some guests, but I didn't know it was you two.
It's been a while, Lady Hiragi. How have you been faring?
This is a rare privilege, Sir Kamisato. It is not often that I have the chance to meet you, let alone here in the comfort of my own home. I'm doing very well indeed, thank you. You must be so busy. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and congratulate Kamaji and I. It really means a lot.
But of course. The Tri-Commission are the servants of the Shogun, and we should look out for one another. In fact, we visited Sir Kujo just now. It's clear that he's very much looking forward to the wedding. Perhaps his joy is infectious, for I am now feeling rather elated myself. I sincerely wish you a joyful wedding and a blissful marriage.
My order is on the way, set to arrive tomorrow? Hold on one moment. Which order is arriving tomorrow? Okay, it's the stuff that's being shipped. It's just the case of energy drinks. Yes, but what about the other stuff? When is that gonna show up?
Thank you for your kind words. This was not an easy decision to make. We will both have to work harder from now on.
Clear means there was something else that came across her mind. Order's arriving late. And despite me telling them to have it delivered today between 11 and 12, which was 6.5 hours ago now, it still hasn't arrived! It hasn't even left the store.
I'm sure the news will cause something of a stir. But come what may, we will stand as one and face whatever the future throws at us.
Sounds like things are pretty tough for you, Chisato.
Yes. To be honest, I'm still a little nervous about it all.
And rightfully so.
But Kamaji has been so supportive. His promises have comforted me a lot.
There's still something that's bothering you, though, and we'd like to know what.
It sounds like you have some considerable reservations, Lady Hiragi.
Yes. Well, there are so many things I need to consider. In case you were wondering, I was not actually entertaining VIPs just now. I was in fact meeting with one of the Kanjo Commission's officers, Shinojo.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Oh, really? Him?
Yes, Paimon. Shinojo, do you not recall?
He charged in all of a sudden and said that he had something very important to tell me. He didn't mince his words. Basically, he doesn't want me to marry Kamachi.
Ah, so he finally went there.
He has always been a calm and contained person who never acts out of line. I was quite shocked to see him so agitated. But despite all that, what he was saying made a lot of sense. He thinks that now is a bad time for this wedding to happen. He pointed out that I am like the final pillar propping up my clan. If I marry into the Kujo clan, that pillar is taken away.
It's just two families becoming one big family though, right? What's the big deal?
Paimon, she marries into the Kanjo family. Or Kujo family, sorry. When she does that, she becomes part of their family. She might be part of the Hiragi clan, but if one clan gets too much power, say power over two of the Tri-Commission Committee, whatever it is.
Traditionally, in Inazuma, clan affiliation influences every facet of life.
Yeah.
After the wedding, Lady Hiragi will belong to the Kujo clan. The Kanjo Commission's attitude toward you may undergo some significant changes thereafter.
Precisely. This is a terrible thing to be saying, but I'm starting to have second thoughts. Maybe I went along with it all too easily. Maybe I allowed... I'm so sorry.
No problem at all. The Yashiro Commission has a duty to listen to you. Now that I've heard your concerns, I should offer to help you as best I can. For instance, by helping you gather your thoughts on the matter. Now, we heard from Sir Kujo that his decision to tie the knot was prompted by a letter he received from you. But we've also heard that you did not write that letter. Sir Kujo thought that perhaps you were just being coy. Oh, dear. Perhaps I should have kept that part to myself.
It's fine, Ayato.
What? But that was... It was just a prop in his playful proposal, wasn't it? It was clearly purpose-designed, what with all the fancy lettering and so on.
Fancy lettering, you say? So I am to understand that had it not been for this letter, you two may not have chosen this moment to be wed?
When it comes down to it... yes, I think so. Oh, do you mean to say that this letter is not what I thought it to be?
Sir Kujo maintains that the letter was penned by your hand.
Huh? But then... how did...
Either way, it's wonderful to see how much you both trust one another. In that sense, you could say that the origin of the letter is ultimately not of great importance.
I disagree, Ayato. The origin of the letter is of extremely significant importance. Unless you're putting on an act right now, in which case I should keep my mouth shut and let you continue the visage.
Who knows? Perhaps Sir Kujo was the one being coy. After all, he had no particular reason to be forthcoming with us about the details of his playful proposal.
I understand. As you say, ultimately, the origin of the letter doesn't matter, but my position does matter.
Yes, it does.
Kamaji and I thought that we needn't worry about anything that lies ahead, because we can face it all together. But now, I think I should give it some more thought.
Marriage is the most important decision of your life. Don't let yourself regret it.
Exactly.
It is also part of the
If you
Yashiro
cannot be
Commission's job
completely
to help
happy
people
with
through
it,
difficult times.
probably isn't a good idea to go through with it.
I say this as an advocate for you personally, and for the Hiragi clan. Please, do not be compelled by circumstances to make any decision that goes against your will. To be together with the one you love is a sacred thing. It is my earnest wish that both of you may enjoy a bright and beautiful future, not a bittersweet one.
I'll take to heart every word you have said to me. I can't thank you enough, Sir Kamisato. I'll think very carefully about your advice.
All that matters is that you follow your heart. Since you'll be needing some time to think things over, we will excuse ourselves now.
Oh, wait! Let me see you out.
Thank you, Lady Hiragi, but there will be no need. Traveler, let's find somewhere to talk.
Zhongli, we need a pillar of escape.
Right!
Thank you. That's not what I wanted, but okay. I will take it.
Hiragi Chisato is on a totally different page than Kujo Kamaji. Ayato, why did you give her such vague suggestions? Couldn't you just have told her what you'd do in her position? Because Paimon's pretty sure you have an idea.
She has to come to the conclusion herself, Paimon. If you were to influence her in every facet of her decision-making, then it wouldn't really be her decision-making, now would it?
I've said everything I can, given the Yashiro Commission's stance. Interfering too much with other commissions' domestic issues will only create trouble.
I have no idea if that's the same thing as what I just said.
The more I think about it, the stranger this all seems. But Hiragi Chisato has yet to see it. We must be vigilant.
Strange? In what way?
Someone wants Hiragi Chisato to be married as soon as possible, and if my guess is right, it is someone from within the Kanjo Commission. This person is presumably also responsible for the mysterious and misleading letter. Think about this. A lowly officer is greatly worried about Hiragi Chisato's future, while the heads of the supporting clans ostensibly have no concern at all. It doesn't add up.
That is true.
When someone's words and actions do not match, you need to infer their intentions from their behavior. Yes, it's a smart strategy. Far superior to the one adopted by the Tenryou Commission's Takatsukasa clan. Even had the forged letter failed and been seen for what it was, there would have been no repercussions. They could simply have explained it away as a misguided but well-meaning matchmaking attempt by a member of the family.
Fucking allergies. That's fair.
But if the letter were to achieve its goal, as it has so far, the perpetrator would successfully weaken the Hiragi clan without ever having to lift a finger against them, all under the guise of simply encouraging a wedding. With Hiragi Chisato having married into the Kujo clan and the head of the Hiragi clan in prison, challenges to the Hiragi clan's leadership would begin to emerge throughout the ranks of the Kanjo Commission. Eventually, another clan would take the Hiragi clan's place.
Reasonable theory, but there's no evidence. Yet.
Actually, we have evidence. His name is Shinojo.
Shinojo?
He should be back by now.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going, Hisashi?
That's the second time you've done that! Paimon cannot deal with this.
Paimon, we've dealt with frickin' Yelan and her people.
Did they take one of the Kanjo Commission officers away?
Yes, his name is Shinojo.
Called it.
As I expected. They cannot afford to let this opportunity pass them by. They have to act now while the Hiragi clan is at its weakest. Hiragi Chisato had been persuaded by Kujo Kamaji, and the wedding was sure to go ahead. But after Chisato's meeting with Shinojo, she began to have second thoughts. In their eyes, Officer Shinojo has interfered with their plan.
But why did they suspect him and not us?
Someone was eavesdropping on our conversation with Chisato the entire time. That's why I was a little reserved.
Fair.
No way. Whew. Lucky Paimon didn't say anything stupid. But Chisato got what you meant about the letter though, right?
I think so. But whoever is behind this will not allow their plan to fail now. They will not be inclined to respect Hiragi Chisato's own wishes. Her stance was so passive that she was easily manipulated, treated like a pawn, with even her marriage becoming a battleground for political power play. Despite all of this, she still believed that a happy future was awaiting her. When she formally marries into the Kujo clan, she will lose her title as daughter of the Hiragi clan, her position in the Kanjo Commission, and above all, her independence.
Marriage is such a trap.
Paimon, you have no idea.
Easier said than done. The perpetrators are manipulating everything from the shadows, letting unsuspecting pawns do their work. This is what makes their approach so smart. We, meanwhile, are out in the open. If we attempt to stop this wedding from happening, we will become the villains of the story and face immense public backlash.
Aito. Unlike you, I have no pull anywhere. Throughout all of this world, I have no political influence. Therefore, let me handle this.
So what are we gonna do?
At this stage, if the perpetrators wish to maintain control over the situation, their only option is to come out from the shadows and bare their fangs. I will wait for that moment to arrive. But first things first, we must go and rescue Shinojo. He has done nothing wrong and does not deserve to be punished. Tell me where Shinojo is. We'll head off right now.
Why are they holding him over there? I've been here before.
What are you doing? Release Shinojo this instant!
Stop this at once.
It's the Yashiro Commissioner. Well, we take orders from our master, no one else.
Really? Then please, excuse me.
Battle formation! Soldiers, quick!
Shake it and stir! Look at you!
Be still.
I need Ayato.
Mind the deluge.
I must withdraw.
I
Blast.
need
Let's go.
Ayato.
We must report to Master right away.
Hey, get back here!
No need to follow them. We need bait to catch the fish anyway. Leave them be. I think I saw a key fall to the ground during the fight. But in all the chaos,
What the? It's a tanuki? Oh, don't tell Paimon that the...
Let's follow it and see.
We'll be right back, Shinojo. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did it go, though? Is this it? I am so very confused. Like, it's supposed to be here, right? It was standing right here. And then it poofed. Do I need to activate the fox? I wouldn't think so.
Gather.
Oh. Excuse me. Destroyed all of them. The truth is also a lie.
Oh, thank the gods you're here!
That took me way longer than it should have.
It was terrifying. They said they were gonna throw the cage into the sea with me still inside. Oh, wait! You have to listen to me. Lady Chisato's wedding. It's all part of a scheme. Someone's trying to use the wedding for their own ends.
Yeah, we figured that out already.
Calm down, Shinojo. It's okay. We know.
Huh?
Our suspicions were roused to this possibility, and so far, everything is unfolding rather as we expected. Those behind this plan are not going to give up easily. Their next move is imminent. We must...
Yashiro Commissioner, you're personally going to take action?
This situation has consequences for the whole Tri-Commission.
It is
and
Tri-Commission.
the stability of all Inazuma is at stake. The almighty Shogun has always despised these pathetic power games. As a commissioner, I am a servant of the Shogun, and it is therefore my duty to handle these tiresome matters on her behalf.
That's
I just shows up out of the blue. Oh, hey, how's it going, Ayato?
Shinojo, don't return to your post yet. Find somewhere safe and stay hidden. Traveler, Paimon, let's get out of here.
Well, if it isn't the Yashiro Commissioner.
Hey,
I hear
Matsuru.
you showed up here with no explanation and attacked my men. You wouldn't happen to be carrying out some sort of secret mission, now would you?
I heard that someone was taking the law into their own hands. As a responsible official of Inazuma, I could not in good conscience stand idly by. Shinojo may be your retainer, but the law does not grant you the right to abuse him.
Abuse? Nonsense. I was just teaching him a lesson. Out of nowhere, a low-ranking officer decides to barge in on Lady Hiragi and start spouting out the most absurd and insulting nonsense one can imagine. A truly egregious loss of decorum. I dare say, the poor lady was terrified.
So, you're saying that you know absolutely nothing of the reasons for his actions? Because otherwise, why would you describe it as out of nowhere?
Two people from two different clans are getting married. That's all there is to it. And yet this young gentleman took it upon himself to fabricate a nonsensical disaster story around it. How should I know what he was thinking? Even if she marries into the Kujo clan, Lady Hiragi will always be the daughter of the Hiragi clan, and the most
How did
distinguished
you
member of the
find out
Kanjo
about
Commission.
the conversation between Lady Hiragi and Shinoju? Shinoju?
We are, and always will be, her loyal assistants. It's our duty to see that she never has to worry about anything. Loyalty and duty are our guiding principles. Not only did this guard show no regard for either, he went out of his way to upset our lady. How could one do such a thing? Even if we put it down to a rare moment of impulsivity. I have to say, I'm surprised to see one of such noble standing as yourself rushing to his defense.
Darn it! This guy is good. Annoyingly good.
Use a slime ball.
Funny. I'm suddenly reminded of an anecdote I'd like to share with you. There's not been a dull moment since I took up my post in the Yashiro Commission. Every day I've been exposed to new and fascinating things. For instance, a merchant from abroad once told me about a curious kind of bird with the most extraordinarily long tongue. So long, in fact, that you can tie 2 knots in the portion of it that extends out of its beak. I'm sure someone as erudite as yourself could be able to guess what people do with these unusual avians.
Keep them as pets.
You'd think, wouldn't you? But there's a catch. You see, this bird is of no use to humans whatsoever, and certainly doesn't make a suitable pet. If you catch one, the best thing you can do is actually cut its tongue off and throw it out of the window. The reason they give is this. The longest tongue has the most to say, but don't be deceived as it chirps away, lest the song it sings lead you astray.
I say, Yashiro Commissioner, are you here simply to mock the Kanjo Commission?
That holds a lot of weight. Holy shit.
Far from it. In my mind, the Kanjo Commission is made up of honorable individuals, upright and forthright, conscientious and loyal. It is unbecoming of such people to resort to lies, deception, and filibustering, all as part of a plan to remove Lady Hiragi from her position in the Kanjo Commission.
Yashiro Commissioner, please don't make accusations without any evidence.
The evidence is standing right in front of me, is it not? I have a credible witness who can confirm you were quick to try and make him disappear as soon as he said something that you did not like. Ugh, dear me. I can't believe the Grand Matsura clan is now represented by someone with less of a sense of loyalty than even an ordinary servant.
Damn.
You studied hard and took a government position, only to make it to where you are now just to play these petty power games behind the scenes. I'm not sure whether it's because you're smart enough to play the system, or too foolish to know any better. In your years of service to the Shogun, not only have you managed to glean nothing good from the people around you, you have also let yourself be blinded by self-interest. And now you have ruined your once bright future. I'm not angry, Mr. Matsura. I just feel sorry for you.
Is that right? Then tell me, if you're so bright, what exactly do you think you can do to me? This is at most a Kanjo Commission issue. We'll handle this amongst ourselves. You are reaching rather outside of your bounds, Yashiro Commissioner. If you seek to involve yourself in other clans' affairs, might I be so bold then, as to question your motives in doing so? I think you are simply opposed to an alliance between the Kanjo Commission and Tenryo Commission, because the new balance of power in the Tri-Commission would be a threat to you personally.
Matsura, you underestimate the Kamisato clan, first off. Secondly, we happened to cross this by happenstance. We literally were going out for a walk.
So you come here with an elaborate excuse to try and break up this marriage.
So, that's how you view it. Well, I have to admit, you clearly are far more talented than I at monitoring the power balance within the Tri-Commission.
Let me be crystal clear. This wedding is going to happen, and nothing is going to change that. The notices have already been sent out. All of Inazuma City knows about it now.
Funny, because the people that would be involved in doing so, you're threatening one of them.
Most of the public weren't aware that Kujo Kamaji and Hiragi Chisato were courting. But you can bet, it's all anybody's talking about now. Once the notices go out, that's it.
Well, that and the book
The
that's
wedding is
been
a
going
sure
around.
thing, even if it hasn't happened just yet.
I see. It seems like I was wrong.
So suddenly, we see eye to eye?
No. No,
I had
Matsura.
expected you to at least be smarter than most. But it seems that I was gravely mistaken.
Yeah, he's much stupider.
Kamisato Ayato! You... How dare you!
You've made your move. Now, I suppose it's time I made mine.
What do you mean?
Do you seriously think this marriage will bring the Kanjo Commission and the Tenryo Commission together? Isn't it at all possible that the Kanjo Commission becomes marginalized as a consequence of this union? Goodness me. Well, I've learned a great deal from talking to you. That will be all for now. If you would excuse me, I shall take my leave.
Have a good one, dumbass.
Hey! What was all that? Paimon didn't follow at all.
They had their scheme, but fortunately I was prepared. As I said, they ended up coming out from the shadows and revealing themselves. Let's see how things are in Inazuma City. Then, I'll take you through the details of my plan.
Alright. Oh, hey, adventures. Hey, how's it going, folks?
Look at this. The daughter of the Kanjo Commission's Hiragi clan and the master of the Tenryo Commission's Kujo clan are getting married.
Sounds like an all-around perfect match, don't you think?
For sure. I'm just surprised. It seems very sudden. I hadn't heard a single word about it until now.
Good luck to them, I say. I'm sure it must have been a hard decision.
Looks like the wedding is definitely going ahead.
It's still too early to make that conclusion. Our adversary wants to push this marriage past the point of no return. However, we can still beat them at their own game.
Yep.
But only if Kujo Kamaji is willing to help us.
Yeah, so we need to snap him back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Starts flying off. We gotta snap him back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. I had to. help it.
I just heard that the news of my
I
wedding has been
couldn't
officially
help
announced.
myself.
It seems so sudden. I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. You didn't even send those out.
Yeah, about that. It's kinda complicated.
In brief.
I see. So someone's trying to take advantage of our marriage.
If you proceed with the wedding, the repercussions for you are likely to be minimal. But we must take Lady Hiragi's situation into consideration.
I've previously considered this possibility. But in the end, we're getting married for true love. And I've promised her that I'll do everything in my power to protect her.
Then do so by putting off this wedding.
I understand where you're coming from, but to be frank, she should not need your protection.
Exactly.
Or, to put it another way, you have tacitly admitted that Lady Hiragi will need your help to get through the hard times ahead, which perhaps suggests that, deep down, you realize all she stands to lose. I don't mean to criticize you. It is natural to want to protect our loved ones. You're an intelligent and gentle person, and I'm sure you would have been able to think about this more objectively were you not so emotionally involved in the situation. I'm sure you admire Lady Hiragi for being the independent, gentle, resilient, and strong-willed person she is. For the sake of marrying you, this wonderful woman will become someone who has to depend on you for the rest of her life. Are you really okay with that?
Nope. Or at least if you're a good man, you shouldn't be.
I love her with all my heart, and would do anything to make her happy. That's why I cannot abide to see her suffer or be manipulated by other people.
It's just like with me and Icy. I want to help her out by getting her out of a situation where she's forced to rely on everyone else, so that she can actually move on to being able to stand on her own 2 feet.
Yashiro, Commissioner, you're right. It was naive and selfish of me to take things this far. But it's too late now, isn't it? There are notices everywhere.
No, it's not too late.
I have a plan, but it needs a villain.
Oh no!
Sir Kujo, in order for my plan to work, you and I must both play the role of antagonists. But it is not without its risks. Are you willing to help?
If there's a way to salvage this, then let's hear it.
I've told the people at the Kanjo Commission that the marriage isn't going to unify the Kanjo Commission and the Tenryou Commission. On the contrary, it's a terrible idea that will marginalize the Kanjo Commission. The context for this is that they are planning to use this marriage to bring down the Hiragi clan. And the key to their success is coming up against no resistance to the marriage from the Tenryou Commission. But what if we were to imagine for a moment that since the affairs of the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryou Commission has been planning to make a move against the weakened Kanjo Commission. The only reason you have been hesitant to act since taking over the Tenryou Commission is because you care about Lady Hiragi's feelings. And so, your plan is to liaise with the Yashiro Commission, to marry her and bring her out of the Kanjo Commission as soon as possible. Once that is achieved, as the person in charge of the Tenryou Commission, you no longer have any reason to hesitate.
I see. This is an ingenious plan. It takes advantage of the situation perfectly.
Exactly. Our purpose is to change Lady Hiragi's position from an unnecessary burden to an indispensable asset. By doing so, we can even strengthen her position in the Kanjo Commission. Once our adversaries realize how the network of connections behind the scenes really looks, they'll do their utmost to stop this wedding from happening. Then, we simply leave them to clear up the mess they've created.
Got it.
So the network of connections? This is all way too complicated for Paimon. Can you just tell us what you need us to do?
Paimon, you were never meant to understand it. It's politics.
We have to make sure
we are
that
not
the behind-the-scenes
politicians.
story comes to the attention of our
we do
dear
not have the
friends in
understanding
Kanjo
of
Commission.
politics. I only have a very basic grasp of it. Basically, from my understanding of it, the entire point of their behind the scenes thing that they're going to be faking is that they believe she is so powerful at what she does, they want to bring her to one of the other commissions in order to be able to better assist that commission, leaving behind just nothing to be built off of in the Kanjo Commission.
Matsura,
That's
with
my
whom I
understanding.
spoke earlier, will now be fearing the worst. No doubt he'll be on the lookout for the first sign of a crisis. In that case, he will almost certainly have placed informants throughout Inazuma City. What we need to do is to use these informants as a breeding ground for our fake intel. Sir Kujo, there are certain things that I need you to attend to personally. It's almost time. My ninja has located one of the informants. Let's go and see if he'll take the bait.
God damn it. So I can't even continue this because I need to complete the frickin'... Where's this quest? Do I just need to use the net to... Okay. I do not remember how to use this net. Where is it? Is this it? Yeah.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
Hello. Dang it. I need to find some place that I can use this. I might be able to use it over here. Okay. Now walk outside of town. There we go.
Stabilize!
That's all I wanted. Aha! I have a fox. Hey. explains why it was a 3-star. $10,000? Oh my god!
There sure are a lot more Outlanders down this
Hey, Sango. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Impossible. She couldn't keep a secret to save her life. Alright. Now back to doing this.
That person is one of Matsura's informants. Let's follow him. Be careful not to get seen.
Did you see that? Sir Kujo Kamaji just came past here with a huge group of people.
Could it be related to the wedding announcement?
Maybe, but from the look on his face, it seems like something much more serious. He and his men seem pretty intense at the moment. Isn't it all a bit excessive for a wedding?
The Tenryo Commission has sent a load of people to Rito. I guess it must have something to do with the wedding. I think in all there must have been about 100 people so far.
That doesn't sound good. What could be going on? I hope it's just Sir Kujo Kamaji being overcautious.
The news is spreading fast, but it appears Master's fears may be well placed. There's no way they sent this many people just to escort the bride. I have to investigate.
He ran off!
As expected. Let's follow him.
Wow! It's like the whole Tenryo Commission is here.
Excuse me, has something happened on this road? I'm a businessman passing through, and it's a little disconcerting to see this place so heavily guarded.
Ah, please don't be alarmed. As I'm sure you've heard, the wedding of Sir Kujo Kamaji and Lady Hiragi Chisato will take place any day now. Sir Kujo decided to send for Lady Hiragi ahead of time, and have her live in Inazuma City during the run-up to the wedding.
I see.
We are here to clear the way for Lady Hiragi. Not just us, either. You'll see more Tenryou Commission members as you go further along. We're all here for the same duty.
Isn't this a little excessive?
Sir Kujo holds Lady Hiragi in the highest regard, and wants to treat her with the utmost respect, from beginning to end.
I understand. Sorry to disturb your work. Drat. It's exactly as Master feared. They say they're here to guard the road, but really they're poised to attack if Master doesn't allow Lady Hiragi to leave Rito. Wait, no. If Lady Hiragi does leave, they'll have all the more reason to strike. But we're in no state to defend against a Tenryou Commission attack. I must tell Master right away.
He ran off again!
He looked like he'd seen a ghost.
That should do it. The seeds have been sown. In this atmosphere, mounting suspicion will nurture fear among the Kangjo Commission. Now, we wait patiently for it to grow and ferment. The calm before the storm is always the part that unsettles people the most.
Are they really gonna own up and apologize? Just like that?
If you're curious to find out, you can visit the Hiragi clan in Rito in a couple of days. I have some other business to attend to, so I won't be spending any more time on this situation. In any case, we've made our move. It's only a matter of time before they give up and...
It's like Shoki.
This is not my first time. Well then, goodbye for now. I truly hope that things will work out in Hiragi Chisato's best interests.
He left kind of abruptly. Are things really gonna turn out like he predicted? Paimon too.
I will say, each of these story quests are about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. So they put a lot of content into this stuff. Especially so if you don't rush things. Like, kind of what I'm doing. Oh, hello. I'm sorry. God damn it. Why are you like this? fellowship between countrymen. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the only issue with the story quests that I really have, is the constant overlapping of minor quests that you can't bypass. You have to complete the stuff in order, if you're in the middle of it, in order to be able to continue with the story quests. It's like, it's literally not going to change a damn thing. I didn't realize that was the high speed of, that was how fast the camera turn was in the game. Okay. There you go. I have one fish. Thank goodness. Eee. Yeah, it is a little out of place. Hey. Susanna.
These people from the Tenryo Commission have been here for days now.
I guess they're here to pick up Lady Hiragi. But why would it be taking so long?
I heard that the Kanjo Commission suddenly said they don't want Lady Hiragi to leave. To be honest, I'd be hesitant if I were her. A crowd this size comes to Rito? Who knows what they could be planning?
Shh, stay quiet. Someone might hear you.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, hey, some of the guards.
Hello. How may I help?
How's it going, Tenryo Commission?
We arrived here 2 days ago to escort Lady Hiragi to Inazuma City. Sir Kujo Kamaji gave us very strict orders, so we have to obey. But every time we attempt to receive the bride, the Hiragi clan always finds an excuse to delay things. Since we haven't fulfilled our duties yet, we decided to stay in Rito until Lady Hiragi is ready to come with us.
People suspect something is wrong.
We apologize. It was not our intention to stay here so long. We promise our presence here will not impact ordinary people's lives. We can only hope that the leaders of the Hiragi clan will start to cooperate soon.
Something tells me they won't.
If this stalemate continues, who knows? Sir Kujo might give us orders to be less accommodating.
I like that tone change. Whoever voiced him, very nice job with that shift change. That was a very good way to come off as intimidating. If I had been standing there in person, I would have...
How much longer does your master plan to hold them off?
Well, let me just go ahead and go...
I have no idea. We're stuck in limbo here. Master's been very on edge these past few days. He gets irate over the smallest things, and is suspicious of everything. He's been yelling at me a lot. I understand that he's anxious, but I mean, what can we do? I've told him before, never cross the Yashiro Commissioner.
Yeah, good advice. With him, you just know that whatever he's doing, a lot of preparation has gone into it. If Lady Hiragi is really taken away, then what will the Tenryou Commission do? And what will the Yashiro Commission do?
Maybe we should tell Master to discuss things with Lady Hiragi.
Hiragi Chisato is now at the center of every conversation in Rito. By now, the Kanjo Commission probably knows how important she is. But what about what she thinks? Let's go and see.
Has she gotten a moment of peace, even?
Oh, Traveler! I assume you've heard about everything that's been going on out there. What on earth is happening?
Don't worry, we can explain everything. So, what happened?
After the Tenryou Commission arrived, they suddenly became alarmed. They keep having secretive discussions and won't allow me to have any direct contact with the Tenryou Commission. I never would have thought that this was Sir Kamisato's plan. Now it all makes sense. I'm sorry. I haven't. Maybe there's no right or wrong decision. Maybe everything would be easier if I simply
I
didn't have the
recognize her
choice.
voice too.
I used
But
to tell
I'm
myself
not as
things
familiar
like
with
this
it
to
as I
avoid
was.
having to think about it.
The other guy.
But once I saw the notices appearing out of nowhere on the streets, signaling that the wedding was confirmed, I didn't feel reassured at all. I keep thinking back to what Sir Kamisato said. This, I can happily accept that if someone was trying to take advantage of my marriage, I should absolutely refuse to go through with it. But that's not the answer I'm looking for. And also, now that things have escalated to this point, it will be tricky to resolve.
Ah, Lady Hiragi, here you are.
Hey, Matsura.
You scared me for a second. I thought you'd gone missing. You? Wait, you're the ones who were with the Yashiro Commissioner that day. What do you think you're doing here? Are you trying to convince Lady Hiragi to leave?
Calm down. They're my friends. They're just here to visit me.
Friends? Are you sure? Just friends? Lady Hiragi, I told you already, these are exceptional circumstances. You need to be more vigilant in everything you do.
And what's wrong with having a conversation with friends, Matsura?
You are extremely important to us, and to the entire Kanjo Commission. Who's to say they don't have a hidden agenda?
If you want to accuse us of trying to abduct her, just come out and say it!
You're acting far less dignified than when we last met.
Don't be rude. You've been very highly strung lately, seeing everything as a threat.
You won't even follow Lady Hiragi's orders now.
Listen to me. I know all the ins and outs of everything that's happened so far. Her arrival might well be your very last chance to fix this. The present state of affairs in Rito shows me that the situation has escalated well past the point where you could hope to control it. If this deadlock continues any longer, we will have nothing to gain and much to lose. This is not an order. All I need you to do is give me an explanation and take responsibility for the situation.
There you go. Take command of your own commission, because clearly they think you're not suited for it. And you very well are.
Understood, my lady.
On the position.
I shall discuss with the others right away.
Good job, Chisato. You handled that well.
I was so nervous. But I thought things are now so critical that I should at least give it a try. And it worked remarkably well.
That's what I call a voice of authority.
Yes. Well, let's wait and see what happens. I hope they provide a satisfactory response.
We had a serious discussion and reflected on our
With
mistakes.
his tail between his legs.
In all honesty, no one can handle the weight of the situation here. Everyone is besides themselves with worry. It'll drive us mad if it continues any longer. I'm so sorry. My actions were radical and duplicitous. I was selfish and ignored the greater good. And then I left the situation to fester. Would you please give us a second chance? For my lady's sake, please give the Kanjo Commission another chance.
No, you're talking to me.
I suppose you're right. The only person who can change the Tenryou Commission's mind will be the Yashiro Commissioner. We'll head off to the Kamisato estate shortly. and beseech him to help us with the utmost sincerity. Lady Hiragi, might I ask you to join us? You are the most important person. Without you, we have no other way. By the way, aren't you a good friend of the Yashiro Commissioner? Please put in some good words for me.
I'll consider it. Hey Ayato, we're back. Is Ayaka here? She might find it very entertaining what you've done.
Yashiro Commissioner, I'm sure you've heard the news. The Tenryo Commission has now occupied Rito, refusing to leave until we hand Lady Hiragi over to them. I realize I have greatly offended you with my atrocious actions, and I realize also that this must sound like the very height of absurdity. But please, have mercy, good sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Matsura. I'm exceptionally busy and have but a moment to spare before my next engagement. I fear this leaves no time for small talk, so please, if you would be so kind, get straight to the point.
I know our apology means nothing to you.
Oh,
but
hey,
we
there's
really
something that I
have
need to
nothing else
investigate
left to
back there.
offer by this point. I'm terribly sorry. Everyone in the entire Kanjo Commission now realizes the gravity of this situation. Lady Hiragi is indispensable to us. We promise to always support her, so would it be at all possible for you to talk to Sir Kujo once more, on our behalf?
You make it sound so easy. The Tri-Commission will be ridiculed by the public if we choose to withdraw the notices now and eat our words. What do you plan to do about this? To lose face for the Tri-Commission is to bring shame to Her Excellency.
Good lord, the heavy-handedness.
The thunderous wrath of the almighty Shogun.
We will take full responsibility. We'll publish a new notice and hold a conference to explain the situation. We will make sure that the public knows this was all a huge misunderstanding. We'll do everything we can to minimize the impact. Everything we can.
Master Matsura, you should have known it would come to this. Whatever were you thinking? But the Tri-Commission must always put the interests of Inazuma first, regardless of what Sir Kujo and I may feel at this present moment. If the situation in Rito is left to fester any further, things may get out of control. But Lady Hiragi and the inhabitants of Rito are innocent. If we fail to contain the situation promptly, the rumor mill will wreak havoc on the Tri-Commission's reputation. Try keeping a pet bird. You'll see what I mean. Songbirds who know how to hold a tune can be very pleasant to listen to, but they can also become irritating if they don't know when to stop. And as for the ones with excessively long tongues, well, they're so insufferable that they can't be kept as pets at all. But it doesn't take a moment to cut out their tongues and silence them for good.
Yes, I understand.
I've listened to your concerns, and I'll talk to Sir Kujo for you. But I can't guarantee that he will change his mind.
I understand. Thank you for your help, Yashiro Commissioner.
All right, you ought to return now. I'm sure you have a sizable mess to deal with back in the Kanjo Commission.
Okay, then please excuse me. Thank you once again, Commissioner.
I think my son is messaging me again. Yep.
Ah, yes, Lady Hiragi. I have something to tell you. Would you mind?
Oh? Why, of course. Sir Kamisato, you became a completely different person just now. It felt so intense.
Unruly servants like him need to be severely reprimanded. As a commissioner, the almighty Shogun trusts me to do her will. I did as I should, but now I'd like to take off my commissioner hat and share a personal story with you.
Oh, please. I'd love to hear it.
You must have heard that the Kamisato clan once went through an extremely difficult period. My father worked incredibly hard to compensate for the grave errors made by the Kamisato clan long ago, and restore our reputation. The work took a toll on his health, and ultimately led to his untimely demise.
I'm curious about that.
My mother loved him dearly. She passed soon after. This sudden turn of events dealt a heavy blow to the Ashiro Commission. Behind the scenes, things became very unstable. Everyone thought that the Kamisato clan had lost power. That made my sister and me nothing but burdens, hindering the ambitions of others. It may sound preposterous now, but I assure you that is the truth of what the Ashiro Commission has been through.
Huh. Pretty similar to how the Kanjo Commission is now.
Back then, I had no choice but to accept the position I was in. While I desperately looked around for powerful supporters, I endured smear campaigns and attempts to exploit me. I had no other choice. I had to honor my parents' dying wishes, and I also had a young sister to take care of. I didn't mind what became of me, but my family. No one can ever be allowed to trample over my precious family.
Jeez, it sounds like me.
Fortunately, I persisted, and the Kamisato
Talk
clan
shit about
was
me
able
all
to
you want.
survive this storm.
Talk shit about my family? Oh, hell no. My friends? No. You don't touch them. It's fine if you want to throw shit at me, but don't throw shade at them.
I think I now know where my sense of loss
I'm an easy
and
target.
confusion was coming from. Shinojo once told me that he saw what was in me in a way that no one else did. That's why he
It's 'cause I'm
couldn't
so
bear
big
to
and
see me
fat.
live the rest of my life
Oh,
depending
dear.
on someone else. I thought the reason I felt unsettled was because of uncertainty over getting married. But the fact...
The reason why Sir Kujo was able to face the prospect of marriage so confidently is because he's prepared for anything.
That's it. The situation I'm facing now is the same one he faced back then. When his clan was in crisis, he bravely drew his blade and challenged the almighty Shogun. And now... it is time for me to make a stand.
Yeah, he
and
literally
become my own
took up
person.
a sword and tried to fight I.
Well said.
And was losing
I'm sure once you have
miserably,
grown
but
and
he
gained
didn't stop.
confidence, your father will be able
He
to
wanted
let
to
go
prove a
and
point,
allow you to decide
and he
how you
did.
want to live the rest of your life.
Don't know how many people actually have played the game and gotten through that, so I'm sorry if I'm giving spoilers.
It might not sound exciting, but this kind of personal growth is a necessary step in the pursuit of true happiness.
And I'm sure I can get there. I will use this as an opportunity to take over the responsibilities of the Hiragi clan. I'll think about marriage again after everything is more settled. This puts less pressure on Kamaji, and means I can support and protect myself without having to worry about becoming a burden or dependent on someone else.
My best wishes to both of you were and remain heartfelt. When the time comes for the wedding to go ahead, I will come to congratulate you once more.
Thank you, Sir Kamisato. I am grateful for everything you have shared with me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot to deal with back home.
Take care, Lady Hiragi. I'm confident that on your return, you will find your Kanjo Commission associates most receptive to your instruction.
Yes. In fact, my recent experience suggests the same. Thank you once again.
That is good. Everyone's friends with the traveler.
More of a leader now. Hats off to you too, sir. Everyone thought there was no way out until you pulled that super smart strategy out of nowhere.
In fact, counter-checking is a perfectly common maneuver in the game of chess. Our rival this time was easy to deal with. He was smart, but short-sighted, and sloppy in his execution. This outcome is entirely within my expectation.
Even so, Paimon could never come up with a plan that cunning in a whole lifetime.
Paimon, that's because you're simple-minded. I eventually might have come across it. I too am simple-minded. Less simple-minded than you, though, Pipe.
Anyway, it's kind of a relief to see that Chisato has decided to set the Hiragi clan straight.
I agree. Stability in Inazuma benefits me as well. I wasn't about to pass up an opportunity to make less trouble for myself.
You weren't in this just to help Chisato, were you?
Well, the fact is that I am first and foremost the Yashiro Commissioner.
Of course.
Perhaps for Master Matsura, power is his life's pursuit. But for me, nothing matters more than the stability of Inazuma. A stable
Fair.
nation is the prerequisite for a stable Yashiro Commission. Only then can the Kamisato clan and the other Yashiro Commission clans have a peaceful existence. But human desire will always be a factor in the equation. This is not the first situation of its kind, nor will it be the last. All I have tried to do is make sure the three parties to the Tri-Commission serve to restrain each other. Stasis is not the only form of stability. A balance of power leaving no room for maneuver achieves the same end. Another positive outcome is that everyone recognizes how important Lady Hiragi is now. I think I did her a sizable favor in that regard. Dealing with the Hiragi clan will be much easier for her than navigating a new and unfamiliar one.
That is true.
There were so many things at play over this one wedding. Wait a second. You weren't trying to stop the wedding from the very beginning, were you?
I thought straight away it was bad timing. Nevertheless, everything I said to Hiragi Chisato was entirely sincere. If you choose to give up your stance on something once, you'll be having to compromise for the rest of your life. I didn't want to see her suffer because she didn't realize what she was getting into. Now, she has the chance to become her own person. Let's see who she becomes.
Okay then. Guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Farewell, and profuse thanks to you both. I shall have to host you at the Kamisato estate when my sister is next available.
I need him in my
Looks
party.
like everything's resolved. Masterfully done. Everything was perfect. Well, except for one minor detail. I somehow ended up with a glass of very peculiar tasting milk.
Didn't you like it? I distinctly remember you saying you are quite partial to exotic flavors.
Oh! My lord?
The Traveler had one of those as well.
I'm sure she's made a great impression on you.
The Traveler did indeed play a critical role in this case. I'm sure both families would have been more guarded against me had she and her companion not been present. It wouldn't have been so easy to get to the heart of the matter.
There you go again, my lord. Placing the focus on other people while discreetly performing your job to perfection.
Naturally. Ah, yes. Now that we're both free, let's finish off that game of chess we started a few days ago.
It's just plain old chess? Really? Huh. I mean, I'm aware that more than just the basic chess that everyone's familiar with exists. I just did not realize that was actually chess. Still have to get through the Gourmet Supremos. Oh, Archon have I done right? And all of these. Oh my god. Jeez. Only got a reputation of 2. Knockaweed seeds. Rice cake soup? Rice cake soup. I see. Getting to level 5, while not easy, will be extremely handy. Resonant Stone, and then Treasure Compass. Man, they put the Resonant Stone really far down. I can't say I'm a fan of that. There's too much space between all the islands for that to be feasible, if I'm being completely honest. For me, anyways. I guess a lot of people don't really have that issue.
There are still documents that need to be seen by the Commissioner.
Alright, well, I guess I'd best get back over here. And that will be the end of this stream. So let's take a look and see who I can raid. I need to... There we go. Who do we have? Oh, cool. Halcyon is live. But let's see. Do we have anyone playing Genshin? No one playing Genshin? Okay. GBTG doesn't want to work. Yeah. No raid today. Well, I hope you gupe you guys enjoyed. Hope to see you guys tomorrow for Dragon Age. Bye!